Did I make it in time? Yeah, I did. I just got 2 tabs open. No, I was saying when my mic was muted, Abhijit, I can make a maximum of 3 hours. I've set my alarm for 7 a.m. It's actually 4 a.m. here in Sydney at the moment. So I should say again, welcome everybody. This is the Yearly Crazyhouse Arena. Used to happen twice a year for some reason, but now it happens once a year, I do believe. So it used to be a biannual event, even though it was called the Yearly Crazyhouse Arena. So did it always used to be 3+0? I thought it used to be 5+0 for some reason. And I'm playing a decent opponent, so I should half pay attention at least to what's going on the board. Yeah, insane addiction to play at this crazy hour, 4 a.m. But I haven't streamed in a long time. I'm actually on borrowed time with my internet provider because they gave me an expiration date or a cancellation date of the 12th of February. What do we do here? Should I play knight at h5 or knight at g5? Maybe knight at h5. Yeah, 12th of February, so I'm on borrowed time at the moment. They've given an indefinite extension, and then there'll be indefinite delays. And nobody can tell me how long the delays are going to be moving on to the new type of internet, which everyone has to go on in my area. Yeah, this is a bit like a Crazy House marathon, isn't it? I think I want to get out of the way. King h1, because eventually I could imagine putting something on f6. I don't necessarily want to be on the g file. Not sure whether this is the best way to do it though. King h1. Could maybe block up the g file with something. Even g takes f3. I'll probably just let him take on d4 though. I don't mind. Just go queen g4. My king is very safe. I'm a pawn down, but huge pressure on the g file. Threatening knight f6, knight takes g7, queen takes d4. Yeah, how long have you been watching John Lee, Abhijit? Because he has been streaming a lot longer than me. Maybe 5 years, 5 or 6 years on Lichess. So, some options here. Knight to f6 is interesting. Because then when the queen gets out of the way, I can take more pieces on f5 and take on f6 and put something on g7. Early 2020, but you watched all these videos. So, take on f5 first, take on f6 first. Hard to know exactly what to do, but watched all my videos. I must have something like 150 hours. I think you're more dedicated than me, Abhijit, when it comes to Crazy House addiction. And there's also knight takes d5. Oh, this is a snap. And this one really hurts because there's knight takes f6 check coming. He's going to have to counterattack somehow. Bishop at e4. But I don't think it's going to be enough. I have the queen defending g2 even if I needed. Okay, how do we finish this off? I think we just go pawn at g7 to start. This is Fizz. Yes, thank you. The World Championship final between Opera and Jasugi was really fun to commentate with Yasser and John Lee and Kleerkast. First time we've ever done a 4-way commentary team. I was going to be a backup stream, but I think my mic ended up not working or something happened on my end. Doesn't matter. We only really needed one stream. So bishop at h6. How do we do this a clever way? I wanna. Oh, what? I don't mind this. He's got no pieces left. Queen at e7 is checkmate. Yeah, but you need a ton more pieces there, especially with my queen defending all down along the g file. I noticed there was at least one bug in my coffee this morning because I hadn't got up this early. Oh, ICS Vortex. Oh, look at that, he's got a 2-0 record. That's what happens when you play the Dutch. You either die horribly or you win brilliantly. And there's nothing in between when you play the Dutch. And the first game was in the Elite about 2 weeks ago, when he chased my king into the middle and I somehow miraculously survived. And then he flagged me and I had like a mate in 2 at the end or something. But exciting game. Bishop e2, I think, is the move here. Probably take that and knight at e5. Knight at e3 if queen takes. Yeah, this is pretty safe for white. And I think Grandmaster Feeglued was the first one to do this against me. You might remember that video, Abhijit, if you've seen all my videos. Grandmaster Feeglued. I didn't know what to do with black in this position. Trade off the knights, trade off the bishops, but it's just not a very good position for black. All the trades favor white with tempo and attack along the e-file. Feeglued good in puzzles term. I heard he has a crazy score, even more than 110. So Vortex is struggling here in the opening. I would struggle too with the black pieces here. It's hard enough already to find a playable opening with black, isn't it? So sorry about the mic if you were here earlier. Let me just knight at g5. So I only wasted 2 minutes of your time. Now how should I do that in the video, in the YouTube video, Abhijit? Should I re-record it? Should I delete 2 minutes of video? That's a lot of video processing time. Or should I just upload it and explain in the comments? Take here? I don't know what to do. Edit out the 2 minutes? Yeah, I could do that also. Hey, bishop 2 h5. We'll start with this. Yeah, welcome guys if you're new to Crazy House. One of the most exciting variants, which is sort of similar to chess. I mean, it's just like chess if you have no trades. If you play a positional game and you're just shuffling around pieces, don't do any trades, it's just like chess. Until you take a piece, of course. King e7. I think I'm going to take this one because his diagonals are going to be extremely useful along this one here. I can take back on e5 if he blocks. If he doesn't block, I grab the queen. It's very similar to Bughouse, of course, if you know the 2-board variant. Yeah, and sometimes you can just sack pieces without thinking, like I often do on stream and off stream. I just bishop at g5. Kleerkast made good lead chess study. Anyone know what happened to Kleerkast? What's the goss? What's the news on Kleerkast? I heard he didn't have such a good match against blitzbullet and closed his account temporarily to do more study. I don't know, 1-0-0, different game than 3+2 though. So yeah, Kleerkast also streaming. Zaraza has Toto, BughouseKnight. We have our first 2500 plus opponent. Let's do the Dutch. We were talking about the Dutch earlier. I think BughouseKnight made a joke, didn't he, about the number of moves of theory he knows? He knows 20 moves of theory, but that's in total. Not just in one opening, that's in total. So not yet, or maybe not to be a Crazy House theoretician, but this is pretty new to me with the bishop on d2, so I'm already out of book. I just know some basic ideas. Probably b6, bishop b7 if he's not going to go for the early f3 system. Offering a trade of bishops, but I don't think I need to go for that. since the bishop on d2 is not so well placed at the moment. Rook e1, knight e4 would be the obvious move. The question is always what to do with the knight on b8. Do you block the bishop, knight c6, and then it doesn't really have much of a job to do? Do you play a stone wall with d5? Do you play d6 and stop knight e5? Probably in this position I'll go for d6 because he doesn't have an attack on the weak pawn on e6. Well, not yet. There we go. And now d5 with a gain of tempo. Probably... where does the knight belong? Yeah, let's go knight d7. Knight there. Okay, knight at f6. Yeah, so targeting the weak pawn on d7. On e6, do I want to play queen d7 or do I want to play queen c8? Even bishop c8 is an option. Queen c8. Or sack on f2 looks also very interesting. Maybe not good. Don't always expect good moves from me. King e2. Now's a good time for bishop a6, sneaky check. Alright, that's what we want to see. Pawn at c4 or clear this knight out of the way and pawn at e4, maybe. Yeah, time is already running low, so bishop h4 is another option. Or just guard this square here. Queen d6, rook f6. Don't know what to do. Can play pawn at c4 later. Ah, he's running. Let's not let him get away. I actually want to attack on this side, even though it looks counterintuitive. Maybe rook h6. Can take on d3 when more pieces are needed. One minute left. So maybe g3 push. Looks pretty good. Oh, he's closing everything. Let's just go nuts and sack everything and exchange everything. Take on d2 maybe? Yeah, threatening mate on h2, so that's why he's going for this. Knight here looks good, just so I can take something back. Pawn at f2, rook it somewhere. Oh! Bishop at g3 was also a good option. Why can't I take that? I don't know. Alright, what's happening? Check, what? Yeah, I get the point. I'm gonna go here. Not 100% sure about this. I can clean up the knight if he checks me, of course. Not enough knights for g6. That's why he's defending. Put a bishop on. Queen h4 is interesting. Alright, time. No comments. Time. Knight e4 is the main idea. Knight e4 check. And queen drop somewhere. Should be mate. There we go. First 2,500 down. Yeah, I said before I had a bug in my coffee. With my nice skull mug. Didn't pay too much attention before I put the coffee in, what was in the cup. Zanify. Like I said, sorry if you're used to watching ultra bullet players. I'm not much of a berserker. So I like to take my time in Crazy House, find the best moves if wherever possible. Alright, knight at e3 is very popular. Knight at c3 is an option. Or just d4. Yeah, so here, I think the best move is just to go e6. I'm I'm not even sure whether there's any really viable options there. We have a new recruit for the Finnish team, which is Adulto, or Alduto rather. Adulto is what Legion calls him. I'm going to go pawn at e4, bishop b4 to come. And I've seen him play this with bishop d7 early, which is interesting to delay development of the king side. Yeah, no idea if it's theoretically important though. Yeah, what's going on here? Do I get two pieces for a queen? Maybe I can play queen a5 check. I'm not sure. Where else is the queen going? I don't want him taking for free on e4. So, is there anything better than just e takes d3? Let's have a look. Queen f6 is an option. Actually, I'd rather take two pieces for the queen. Unfortunately, I don't get c2 as well because this knight takes g7 check. Although even that's not that bad. But I will take the knight for safety. Maybe knight takes d4 to come. I'm going to watch out for checks here, checks here. g7 is weak in that case. The knight is hanging. So queen takes. I have bishop at e4, which does look pretty good. So no queen checks to watch out for. Abhijit saying Oppa Berserks has a crazy board theme, which is tougher than blindfold because the pieces are disappearing and flashing and changing all the time. Yeah, I don't want to take on d4. I want to defend some of these weaknesses at least. Or do I just have to go for some crazy attack? What do we do? Knight at h5. Looks very suspicious. Or do we just go for it? Knight takes d4, I think, is the move. Does look extremely scary. Queen takes g7. But I'm just going all in for the attack. Maybe I don't actually have much of an attack. Let me think. Takes c3, takes c2. King's going to hide on d2. No more checks. So this is not good news. Maybe I have to start with knight at f3 check instead of knight takes c2. So I'm going to have a lot of knights but no defense. So that's why I say all in for the attack. Inputs via typing and still crushes opponents in 20 moves. Oh, this is in not Crazyhouse but Hyperbullet, is it? Yeah, so queen takes g7 is the move. No, he's letting me defend with knight at e6. Still threatening here if he castles. Bishop g5. Now, I think it is safe to do this because I have both squares covered. The knight is no longer pinned after knight takes e5. But why not pawn at g2 first, make it all come with check. Ah, okay. But yeah, this is safe, right? So something at f3 to follow. Taking this still, there's no problems that I see. Pawn at d3. Just to block out the d file in case anything nasty happens later. There's knight d4 check. Again, I have to calculate carefully there. I'd rather not calculate, so yeah, I just do this and queen c2 in the end. Okay, I'm half paying attention. Yeah, coffee's getting cold though. I need to reboil the kettle. Now, if I had another tab open, might get a match faster. But then if I pause, does it pause on both tabs? I think it does. Probably should. Here is Simba. I only played him once. 1-0. Yeah, so at least I got one on the board against ICS Vortex. He actually played really well in the second game against me. Probably bishop b5 check. Take 3 times. Using DDC. I don't even know what DDC is. That's how cultured I am, Blunderman. What's DDC? Ah, DuckDuckGo, yeah. Yeah. And the Brave browser. Pawn at a3. Okay, what do we do here? Might as well throw in Queen e2 because Queen e6 is pretty annoying for black. Oh, what? It's not annoying. Okay, I'll take that back. It's not annoying. He's going to allow Queen takes e6 check. He wants to trade queens, I see, because he thinks he's the one attacking me. Is that true? We're going to find out. Yeah, obviously pawn at a3. I'm just going to castle and get the heck out of the way. Yep, I don't mind dropping a couple of pieces because he's going to be swarmed by pawns on e6 and h6 maybe. Yeah, alright, let's just go for it. I don't see anything better. Yeah, right, so pawn at h6 is... No, this is not very good. What I've done is actually quite disastrous. Let's see if we can make it work somehow. So pawn at h6, it doesn't directly come with a threat. That's why I'm thinking to maybe play rook a e1 first, because this does come with a threat to take on f1. Hello, go away. Bishop takes f7, pawn takes, rook takes, helps him defend. I don't really want that either. This way also does not come with a direct threat, even though there's a knight at h6 check. So what? Oh, rook takes. Okay, wasn't expecting. And now I do something. Rook at g something. Rook at g4. Rook at g3. Yeah, this is very dodgy. I'm just going to go for it. A sack on g7. Looks kind of scary because if he dodges, I can just take and knight g5 is coming. So I don't really think he can keep dodging with the king. Otherwise, I have a lot of pawns. He wants to run perhaps this way, but I'm not going to let him with a bishop drop on h6. Yeah, so this is a key move, not let him run away. There's queen at g5 to come. But is there mate if he runs this way? I haven't worked that part out. Queen g5, king e6. What? Knight e4 is perhaps better. And that's to stop him running to d6. So I have d6 covered. And now I just need to stop him getting to d5. How do I do that? That is non-trivial. What am I missing? Non-trivial solution. Alright, I better move. Yeah, I don't see an obvious move. But I must be missing something. Pawn at c4, queen b3? Oh, queen d3. Queen d3, that's better, and c4. Does it work? Or is pawn at c4 better? I don't know. He's getting away. So d5 instead. Oh, that's a terrible move. No, don't do that. Knight at d4, no. Knight at e7, no. It's not good enough. What am I doing? Time. Yeah, this is rather disturbing. I haven't found mate. 10 seconds. Come on. Knight at c4. Yeah, but he's gonna win on time. I need something really fancy. Uh-oh. Oops. Ah! Had to guess. Alright, king takes a4. Probably missed a mate in 1 or 2 somewhere there. 0.3 seconds. Couldn't do it. Yeah. So when the king was on f6, I must have missed something really obvious. But I can't think what it was. Queen at c4, he can play knight d5 and then get away via e7. Alright, BTP. 3 games to 1. He likes this b6 system. What do we do here? Chuck in an early e5. It's normally what I do. Again, a bit counterintuitive to open up the bishop here, but I do get quite a strong central push. So either queen e2 or maybe just bishop f4. Yeah, bishop f4. I don't want to let him take on f3 and grab e5, even though there was queen takes a8 at the end. So castles. Do I have enough defenders on e5? Counting is quite hard at this time of the morning. Counting to 2 I can do. Counting to 3 is a bit much. Right. So knight takes. Yeah, I can see he wants to sack a bishop maybe, but there's not a lot of pieces he has in hand, so I'm not too worried. 2 knights is a bit scary. 1 I can live with. So go away is asking. That's an interesting move. Notice I didn't say a good move. I said an interesting move, because I haven't worked out yet if it's a good move. King g3 is an option. King takes f3 is an option. He doesn't have any queen d5 checks or anything. This is okay. So what are the piece values in Crazy House? Queen is worth about 2 pieces. Sometimes 2 pieces are even better than a queen, especially if you can drop them straight back and chase the queen around when it's in the middle of the board. Probably, yeah, come back this way, fill up the square, and then, yeah, either way is okay. Probably d2, because he might want to drop the pawn on, yeah, pawn on g2, then I can just run to e1. Alright, the other option, of course, is to check. And this is rather disturbing to black's position. Knight at c6 comes with discover check. Yeah, so how much a pawn's worth in Crazy House? It depends if you can make them dangerous by exploiting holes on the 7th rank. They can be worth about the same as a minor piece, or generally speaking, about 2 pawns for a minor piece. But it's, I would say, even more situationally dependent than chess as to what the piece values are. What's this? Queen takes f6. Somebody sending me messages, something about Alice in Wonderland. Oh, is it a follow team or something? Okay, I gotta watch out for possible knight at e7. Bishop covers at the moment if I want queen g6. There's also knight at f4, so just develop b6 or knight c6 is typical. Yeah, I really gotta watch out for the square e7 in this case. But here I don't want to let him develop with tempo, so perhaps stick the knight on e4 and then f takes. Mr. Blunder, MrBlunder.com. Now here's an interesting case where he can sack his queen if knight c3, bishop b7, knight takes, rook takes. The white king is fairly safe. So I don't necessarily want to go for knight takes c3. Unless there's something I'm missing which is very strong at the end that I don't see. Perhaps just fortify with bishop at c6 and find something else for the knight to do here. Maybe d5, knight d7. Yeah, if he's going to attack e4 lots of times. Yeah, pawn takes. Main thing is keep the king area safe and not allow knight at e7 check. So that's why I prefer queen back to e7 here. So it seems to be the safest. Alright, so let's just develop the knight, bring the rook over maybe. Watch out for something landing on g6. He's playing very fast for 1700, playing quite well too. Probably pawn on because, yeah, pawn at g6 is often very dangerous. So now g4, make him trade. Take on d2 first, take on f3. Or what? Take on, yeah, this way because then there's a hole on f3. There's also this move. Wow, he's really taking all my pieces, huh? Knight back to f3. And how do we harass the queen? It's a bit hard. So maybe just take the rook, let him grab some more pieces here. Take that one, let him promote to a queen. It's a funny position. Bishop at somewhere, maybe pawn at e4 next. Or just take here first. Knight takes covers the pawn because it's a very useful pawn. A strong pawn, I would even say. Would even go as far as saying it's a very strong pawn on g2. It's a good move. That's a very good move because he's got this coming. But I really got to be careful. Yep. I might be the one getting flagged. Yeah, I don't really know what on earth I'm doing. Rook at d3, rook at d3, maybe. Bishop at b3. Let's try not to get flagged. How about that? What? Queen at b3, rook d1 coming. There's also promotion if I need it. Queen c3. How's he going to cover both squares? No idea. Haha, throwing a sneaky promotion. Do I see mate? Yeah, let's just take everything on the first rank, isn't it? Because he can't block on d1. There we go. Can play faster when I really need it. This is a robbery. What does that mean? This is a robbery. He's stealing all my pieces. How far did that pawn get? All the way to b7? He probably should have just taken on a8 as well. But I did have f8 covered by the knight on d7. That was the point. So I could let him take that. So that pawn would have made about 6 captures in a row if it took on a8 and then on f8 with a promoted queen. Would have been fun. Alright, let's see if BTP's got a better opening than b6 on move 1. Might as well throw in e5, take the free piece. It's not really a free piece in Crazyhouse, of course. Maybe do the firefly knight e2. Or perhaps I missed an opportunity to play knight at h6 there. Oh. Doesn't matter, doesn't matter. Bishop d3. Build up an attack against g6. Pawn at e4 maybe. Take. Just a matter of which way I want to sack the piece, isn't it? I like to look at bishop b5 check, inviting c6, and then knight takes d5, and then I have pawn at c7. Oh no, I don't. He's got bishop at a5. Whoops. Stuffed that one. Taking with the other knight was much better, of course. Oh, there's only one bug at the bottom of my coffee. It wasn't a swarm. Yeah, so pawn at e7. He's got queen d7, and then I'm running out of pieces. Not exactly sure what the best response is after c takes b5. But I'm not a piece down because he sacked first, right? So I'm not actually any material down. Queen, check. I didn't expect this one. I don't think that's a good move. Bishop d2 and knight c7. He was desperate to avoid pawn at c7, but he had a trick with a check. This is cleaning up more pieces. Now this is real robbery. I'll even save the pawn for later. Go bishop b4. So I've only lost one game today on time when I didn't actually see a mate in 1 or even a mate in 2 against Simba. I don't know, maybe someone can tell me who's looked at the game. Let's keep going for knight f6. d5. Knight c6. a6 is reasonable as a precaution against bishop b5. When do we play knight e4? I can never remember. So this is a very safe and solid system. It's quite reliable for black. Not sure when to take on c3. Do we take now or do I throw in queen h4 first? Just while he doesn't have a bishop or a knight for g3 or f3. Yeah, f3. This is critical. So what happens here? Knight takes as this pawn hanging. But can I take it safely? That's the question. So knight, or is it knight takes e5, d takes, bishop takes b5. I gotta work this out. Is queen takes safe? Take, check, king takes. Doesn't look that bad. I just have a feeling the move is knight takes e5, but I can't remember why. I've got pawn at g3 at the end. But I don't know whether that actually leads to anything. So there, take, bishop swap, knight takes, pawn at g3, and then h3. That's what I'm looking at. And then maybe bishop at b6 check. King h1, I don't see any attack. I'm going to do it anyway, even though I don't really see. I just feel like this is the move. Take here. There's also bishop c5 check. Probably want to go bishop at b6 check first though. But then, yeah, is it a strong enough threat to go pawn at g3? Really not sure about that one. We're gonna find out. So h takes, Bishop takes, king takes. Yes, that is maybe an issue. Or just go queen takes g3. Bishop. Ah, hang on. Can he really do that? I don't think he can do this one. Oh, king h1 now. Maybe I should have checked first. But he should have gone king h1 instead of rook takes f2 for sure. So now it's made in 2. Yeah, king h1, and then I'm not sure the best way to save the queen. Sack the queen somehow, but there's also knight takes c7 to worry about. Oh, sorry, didn't notice Swimming Ninja. Thanks for the raid. Knight takes f2, rook back at ya on h1. Back to the tournament. Alright, I haven't checked how many players. There's usually a couple of thousand that end up joining the Yearly Crazyhouse Arena, which, as I said, used to be twice a year for some reason, every 6 months. So it's a 5-hour event. Let's go for d5 this time instead of playing the Dutch. 5 hours, which I'll be able to play 3 hours. I've set an alarm to remind me to go to work on time. Let's go choose one at random. Bishop f5, bishop g4, both quite playable. I've committed to knight c6. I didn't really mean to play into this system then. And I can't put the knight on e4, which I'd like to do, of course. So after bishop b5, maybe there's an option to not play symmetry with knight e7. I don't know, I really do not like symmetry in these kinds of positions. So like Yasser, I could play d4, d5 and claim that I'm better as black, because he's so strong against in these structures where there's no early trades. Alright, I'm going to take back with the pawn. Hope one day to play f6 and kick the knight out of the way. h4, wow. Very brave, not castling. So there's ideas to play bishop at a5, even bishop at a3 sometimes. Knight d3 gives me options to take, come back, take on c3, knight at e4. I'm going to go here and pressure the pawn on c3 because it's a bit awkward to defend bishop at b4, but then a5, take. King's side is still very safe. The queen helps to secure the 7th rank, and there's no easy drops to harass the queen. Knight at e2, that's what I mean about an awkward move to defend the pawn on c3. So let's pin from a distance, bishop at h5. Can just pile up more bishops on the light squares if needed. The knight here does help to prevent bishop at b2. But I notice when I'm streaming, I really don't do a lot of thinking. I hardly spend even time looking at the board. Yeah, options here. Take on c3 and let him sack the queen. Let's not do that. Doesn't look like fun for me. More fun to take on g3. Oh, but now he only gets one piece for the queen, because I'm threatening mate here if he takes on f5. Even he takes f5 is fine if there's no mate. Right, now what? Take here, make some weakness on c2. Would like a pawn for c2, that would be the best piece. Yeah, I know this disrupts the king, but where's the follow-up? It's just a check, really. It's not really achieving very much. e5 allows knight at f5. Let's not do that. Bishop here, have no idea what I'm doing. Again, it's just a check. Just a threat of a check, sort of. Bishop takes. I'm just opening up escape avenues for him. Again, I don't know what I'm doing. How do we make a threat? Not it. I really shouldn't have gone for this trade, because then I might have actually had some sort of a threat when I take on f4 and then knight at e3, or trying to distract the rook forwards maybe. Alright, so what is going on? How do we make a threat? At least he doesn't have another knight for c5. He's probably going to sack it somehow. Yeah, I knew it. Knight takes f4. Now's a good time. He's got bishop at h3 check coming. Maybe knight at e3. Let's do this one first. And the knight on g7. I don't have to take it back. And let him drop more pieces with tempo. So, yeah, I like this one, and then knight at e3 check. And where's the finish? Queen at g2, king e3. I could take here and get a knight for f5. Oh, then it's bishop check. I'll probably put the rook on rook check first, just to avoid bishop at e6, and then take here, no checks. Pin on the e-file, knight at f5 coming. There might be something clever like knight at c2. There we go, in case he covers the other threats. I didn't want to play bishop at f2 and unblock the... Oh, that's Legion's dupe, isn't it? And Legion's dupe. See what he's got against bishop c4. I think one time he played knight b6. No? He's playing very fast. So bishop at h5 is key. Bishop at g4 also playable. I'm not sure whether to go for h3. Yeah, do we go for h3 or just knight at f4 now? Knight at f4. Take. He's got two knights in hand. I prefer to go h3, so I've got more room to maneuver the queen if needed. And I'm also covering knight at g5 attack. Alright, we have a new position. I don't remember ever seeing this, where the bishop comes back. Normally they trade on f3. So take. What do we do with the bishop in hand? Put it on e1 for defense, or maybe c4. D takes. Queen takes. Not so sure about that. Bishop at d2, bishop at b2. I don't know. Yeah, it's a bit of a sad move, I know. Pawn at b2, but what the heck? What the heck? Just play ultra solid. He's gonna flag me though if I play too solid, so I better do something. Maybe knight e5. I'm gonna put the bishop on because I don't want to allow anything landing on g3. Yeah, I know, ultra solid, but there's no easy breakthrough here. So now we go for knight e5. Take. No way to attack the queen. Everything covered on the queen side. Everything covered on the king side. What do I do with the knight in hand? I have no clue. No clue. Queen g4. Always a good move, isn't it, if you don't know what to do in Crazy House? Yep. Should I just steal a pawn and let him take on f1? Okay. I'm going to let him take here too, and I need to get something going. Bishop. Yeah, bishop covers on... no, I need to be defending more the square. I was going to say h4, but I want to kill this knight and then get in on f6. Bishop covers backwards on f2 if he wants to sack. Yeah, this move. Again, ultra solid. I don't normally play this way. I just don't know what I'm doing. Knight on. Alright, now we go for it. The main point is to attack on f6. Not to allow any sort of counterplay. Knight at e2 is only a check. Alright, just stop talking and focus. Yeah, what am I doing? How am I going to cover? I think he's going to have me here. I look a bit toasty. What? Was not expecting any of this. Take a pawn. Do something. Take a knight. Anything. Anything for a pawn. 12 seconds. Yeah. I don't think I have enough for mate. He's gonna flag me. What? Oh, that's not... Yeah. I somehow thought I had rook at g8, but knight on g5 covered. Yeah, it's probably a good position in the end. It just took too long to get in. So I thought he could have defended better and not allowed such... I thought at one moment I had absolutely no attack. And then just talking too much. Alright, let's do an old Katask favorite with e5. Knight f3, take, put it back on h4. I shouldn't get down with no increment. I shouldn't let myself get down to 30 seconds with an unclear position. Alright, this one, bishop g5. Let's see. Yeah, maybe some pawn at d2 move to try and save time by drawing the bishop back. The guy downstairs, the chess engine's good at Crazyhouse. Yes, but a lot of them have patterns you can learn. So you'll see if you look at my bookmarks, there's a ton of games where I've beaten Stockfish level 8 even with the black pieces. And white has more of an advantage in Crazyhouse, so it is a big challenge to beat Stockfish with the black pieces. Sometimes even, rarely even non-theoretical positions. I mean, often I would just find a hole in its opening repertoire. Alright, this is a new position to me, so I have to focus. What am I doing? There's a hole on f3, maybe bishop b4. Maybe pawn at d4. Pawn at f3 is a bit slow. I kind of want to sack a queen on d2 at some point. Bishop g4 in some cases. Bishop b4, probably a bit slow. You just put a pawn maybe on d2, on e2. So, yeah, I don't know about this pawn at d4 nonsense. So the idea of this is if ever we have a queen trade to take back with the rook. But yeah, I'm just not sure about rook takes, knight takes, queen takes. If I have Probably need a knight for f3 check in those lines. So Matt's 2200 is quite a strong, dangerous player for a 2200. Yeah, there is Crazyhouse book, that guy. It's all stored on Lichess databases, so you can always have a look. There's an opening book feature when you do game analysis, variant Crazyhouse. Alright, so I have the time advantage for the first time today because I do find it very difficult to talk and think at the same time. So you find, as I said in the streams, I don't do a lot of thinking really. I do a lot of rambling nonsense, but opening book. I don't actually do a lot of sensible, logical thinking. I really don't know about this queen trade. Because he has a ton of pieces in hand. He's got rook G1, D1 check, which is a bit awkward to block. Is there a Crazyhouse book? Has John Lee written a Crazyhouse book yet? He would be the first player to do it if there was one. So how to block the check? It's not safe to block here. Because he's going to take on f6. Oh, hang on. Then there's a pawn on f6. It's not really what I want. Would rather... Oh, hang on. Alright, I'm going to do a crazy move and go queen at d6 because I want to keep the knight on f3. That's what I mean. I want to keep the knight for f3. So I don't want to block with the knight. I don't want to block with the bishop because then I'm very worried about some big attack on the d file. And some knight drop that I haven't seen. No problemo. New players are very welcome to the stream. So we've been going for an hour already. I can't believe it. How many games have I played? There's no increment, Matzo. What are you doing, buddy? Buddy, what are you doing? I don't understand. The point of this blocking is that he doesn't have a pawn at e7 at the end. Okay, well he does, but it's not very useful. Lots of good moves here. Probably just rook at d6 again, so I've always have this bishop covering in both angles. And knight at f3 there is deadly, and the more pieces I have, the more options with checks on either d2 or f3. TrainFlipper. Okay, it was a very solid opening from TrainFlipper. Wonder if we can vary it up and do something different. Alright, which is he going to go for this? Pawn at a3, okay. Alright, knight takes or queen takes? I don't know. What's the difference? Let's try queen takes. There's bishop at c1. No, he doesn't want to go for that. Queen e3 check maybe, or just go for pawn at h6. It's the most obvious move, isn't it? Bust a hole on g7 early. Take or... Put a bishop on h4. What else is there? Let's go for queen h6. Bishop a... That was instantaneous. Bishop at a5 check. Alright, what trap have I fallen into, Legion? I don't know. I don't know the right piece to block. I'd really like bishop d3 to clear the square for f1. I'm not going to have time for it though. Bishop b5 check may come with tempo at some point. But of course the main threat is queen takes h7, and then he's going to have big problems with the rook. So I'm not sure whether Legion knows this or whether he just was going to play that check anyway. And already I'm easily flaggable with 2 minutes left on the clock, as you might have noticed. It's just, yeah, I mean, I can play a bit faster if I really focus. I just have to stop talking. Bishop at e5, perhaps? So yeah, there's all sorts of discovered checks. Maybe this move to Yeah, as I said before, just clear a square for the king in case I need it. Ah, yeah, bishop blocks is a good idea. If I put a bishop here, what threat does he have? Knight takes d2. And then there's a double check coming. Yeah, I forgot about bishop takes d7. This is really bad of me to allow this. Could ask for a draw and go bishop at e2. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see if he wants a draw. I'm hinting at a draw. But maybe I don't want to draw. Yeah, so sharp line bishop takes... Oh yeah, so I have to take this. Otherwise double check is deadly. Queen takes. I don't want to play queen takes. Now, does bishop takes come with a threat? I got the rook covering, but then the rook is also covering d1, so I'm really not sure what happens on bishop takes b5. Knight at f6 check. Yeah, he's going for it. Queen takes, king takes, knight at c3, king e1. Yes, very scary. Oh no, so many pieces. I didn't see all this. Yeah, this is nuts. What am I doing? I gotta go forwards. Ah, no. I just noticed something very painful. The aim was to run like this up to f7, but that doesn't quite work. But close. Yeah, where's he gonna drop the rook? G4 or E4? Exciting game, nevertheless. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, nice one. He's got pawn at d6 or knight c6. It's only looking at pawn at e7. So yeah, I really have no idea what I did wrong. I mean, obviously allowing all the checks on e2 and d1, but so bishop b5 I guess was a mistake. I didn't want to trade on d7 because that allows castles queenside. So that's one of the main points I think in the whole game, that I should have avoided bishop b5 check, even though normally it's a good idea to clear the square on f1 for the king. So I think queen h6 is a good line. I just have to work out a better way to prevent the threats of knight takes d2. Alright, so take on e5 or not? Probably take once at least, make him take with a pawn, and then fill the square with a pawn, and then there's funny ideas of knight at c1. Ah, this way, okay. How do we cover the main threat on g7? Knight at f5 looks obvious. Yeah, I don't see nothing else. So the bishop stops castling kingside. Got h5 coming to kick the queen. Bishop at g5. I could even consider h5 anyway. So, yeah, why not h5? Maybe queen g5 is his idea, but then he's got to watch out for e2. The crazier the board, the calmer the player. Haha. Yeah, good one. That's only on the outside, mate. Only on the outside. Knight h4. You still can't castle. Interesting. Yeah, how do we attack this bishop? Moves like d4. Take, 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 take. Looks like a bit of fun. Yeah, we'll go d4. But yeah, considering I got flagged twice in probably mate-ish positions, and then Legion found a nice sequence there with a rook at g4 and knight coming back to e4 in the end. Okay, so here I would like to keep the bishop pointing at f1, so probably just bishop back to a6. No, I can't trade queens because there's a queen at f8. I have to move this guy first. But I have lots of knights defending e7. I just don't want to allow too many pointy pieces on f6, pawns and bishops. So I don't mind a big trade on d4 because then everything seems to be coming with attack with the initiative. Maybe a pawn at e2 in the end, or just a queen trade. Alright, I didn't see this e4. What happens? Again, knight h4 looks obvious. Nothing I can take, so knight h4. So anticipating rook g1, but then probably come back to g6. Bishop at g5 is, yeah, a bit annoying. I really don't want to block on e7 with a knight. I'd rather sack a queen, but then I'm going to have to take with the king, and that's also not what I want. Queen takes here, no good. f6 is possible because you see all his pieces are on dark squares, and although these squares look weak, there's nothing that obvious that he can do to take advantage. Pawn at b5 is more what I'm concerned about. I don't need to keep the bishop to stop castling because he's volunteered to play rook g1. I could even respond pawn at b4 as a joke, but no, not serious. Not sure what to do after pawn at b5. Yeah, okay. Could take 2 for 1. Oh, he's gone that way, alright. He's threatening a mate in 1, gotta be careful. So what about knight? Oh, he's got bishop here. It does clear the square f8 for the king. Going for the flag, of course. Yeah, this is a good move. So pawn at e2, I don't think is what I want to be doing in this position. Let me just defend with pawn at g7 and knight takes, sack the queen if I need to, that's okay. Hey, what's this? Hey. Oh no, this is... Alright, flag time. Just Let's make sure everything is covered, because I am in big trouble. Ah, bishop takes A. What? I flagged? I should have just gone for the mate, but then there's always a danger that he'd check me. Yeah, silly finish. He probably should have made a mate in the end. It was a nice queen sack on g6. He just didn't find the right checking sequences. But that's not a game I should have lost. Yeah, considering... I think f6... Okay, f6, maybe it was a bit loose. And... So what, instead of f6, put something on... Put a knight on e7. Yeah, I don't know. So I think this is the reason why do I include the move knight at h4. Because otherwise, again, you have to defend this square awkwardly. Rook g1 is always coming. Pawn at g6. Pawn at d5. Take. So pawn at d5 is the obvious move, just to get this knight out of the way. Maybe a small pause to get some more coffee. I need an extra kickstart at the end. I need an extra boost of speed when I've got 0.3 seconds left. Oh, what is this? A mouse slip? Knight at h4. I can just take that too. So don't know what's going on here. Toto is streaming, I think, isn't he? Oh yeah, he is. Yeah, knight takes g7 check coming. He's sacking more pieces. I don't mind. Sacking more pieces. Give them all. I've been thinking to put a pawn on d6 earlier. Yeah, it's probably because I was being too greedy trying to keep the pawn just for the right square like e2. Maybe pawn at d6. I'm not entirely sure. I think there were many good options for me when I had that. When I provoked rook g1, I was quite happy with the position. Let's go for a sack, because the aim is to open up the g file, and then knight at h6 check. I'll just come back with the knight, clear the queen if I need it. No mate in one. Yeah, pawn at d6, I get the idea, is to block out the bishop on c5. I just thought maybe it's a bit too passive. I didn't feel like I was that much in danger at that stage. Kleerkast, he's got the white pieces. I'm expecting d4. Got to go Dutch against the duchy. d4, f5. He's probably going to do a fianchetto system anyway, unless he's got something sharper in mind with e4 or bishop takes f6 first. Alright, it's always exciting. Oh no, he's going to play the safe line. But yeah, there's a queen sack with knight takes e4. Possible in some lines. It's one of the fastest queen sacks that you can do in Crazyhouse. Bishop d3. Alright, I have to calculate. Why can't I take on g2, pawn at f7 check. King takes, knight drops somewhere, king back. What's the issue? What's the problem? I don't understand. This queen f3. So pawn check, queen f3 is what he wants, trade queens, and then there's all kinds of mating threats. So interesting move, pawn sec on g2. Yeah, I have a feeling I shouldn't be allowing this pawn sec on g2. Yeah, let's go for a safer move, pawn at f5. Interesting idea, pawn at f7 check to draw the king, and then queen at f3, take, knight takes. And then he has huge attack, d6. So no bishop for h5, that's mainly what I'm looking at. If bishop at g4, he's possibly going to sack the queen and put it bishop back on h5. So this move just to stop knight at e5. Against Kleerkast, I really do like increment. Find it very hard to stream, especially because he will flag me ruthlessly if he has a chance. Like everybody, of course. Knight c6 just for extra coverage over e5. Not saying I won't do that to other people, but at least, unless I've got 0.3 seconds left, I do try to make reasonable looking moves. Yeah, maybe now. Bishop at g4, it does help to cover the main threat of takes on f5 too, as well as some pressure on d4. So I'd like to cover up the e-file a bit more, and I'm not sure whether to castle or not. Kleerkast, another streamer. Shout out to Kleerkast. Don't have time to type. I don't have Nightbot set up anyway. Just a very unprofessional stream, this one. Casual stream. So, expecting some move like c3 just to cover the main weakness. Yeah, but I can possibly take knight at h4, but pawn takes. Knight at f4, bishop takes f5. That's a big mess. I don't like the look of big messes right now, so I'm going to go bishop e7 just to cover up a bit more. Knight at f4 expecting, queen f7. Also bishop e7 helps to cover the threat of d5. Okay, so should I castle 2? Yeah, where's my attack? Where's my attack? Uh-oh. He's going for me. Yeah, take. Queen h6, maybe queen h6. King b1, very safe. I need to get something going. Here we go. a5. So h5 doesn't come with tempo, at least. I think trades are good for white here, though, because got to watch out for something landing on g5. Knight at b5. What is this? Stealing pawns this late in the game? No way. Yeah, a4 is just a useless move, really. I mean, I might as well do it. I can't think of anything better. Funny positional game. Yeah, let's trade queens. Go for a4. Bishop's kind of keeping me safe at the back. Here he comes. Is that a threat? h1, maybe h1. What to do now? Yeah, I'm gonna go for a3. He's expecting it though. Oh, what? Oh, no. He's got two queens. I didn't see he's got two queens. Just rook back, you idiot. You idiot. I didn't see he's got 2 queens. Ah, no. Very funny, very funny. That's what you get. I was not looking at the board, trying to flag him with 3 seconds left. Alright, it's always fun to embarrass yourself on stream. Let's try something different. And go for d4. Give black the option whether he wants to play bishop g4. Yeah, I'm sometimes really bad at forgetting about the last game, but here I'm actually so tired that I've already forgotten it already. So I honestly I have like 2-second memory at the moment because it is. I got up about 3:30, stayed up watching streams till after midnight. So that's why I'm a little bit hyperactive this morning. Can't sit still, and in fact I have to keep moving to avoid sudden sleep syndrome. What do you call it when you're prone to suddenly falling asleep when you are deprived? Let's just take this free bishop. Looks like a free bishop. So threats on. Oh, but then I can just pick that knight off. Bishop at f5. So normally, yeah, I'm quite aware of these sorts of tricks, but just really not thinking very well at the moment. It's been how long since I've played and streamed? blitzbullet. How long since I've played and streamed at the same time? I did a shield about 3 months ago, but it's probably 3 months before that because I was playing in Crazyhouse World Championships. Yeah, let's see what he goes for here. e6, bishop g4. Take on c3. Haven't played blitzbullet in a long time. Oh, so this is not critical, you could say. Probably just castle, or is there something better with knight takes and bishop at... Probably just castle. Yeah, it's been a long time. Maybe even a couple of years since I played blitzbullet in Crazyhouse. He likes his Kleerkast systems with d4 and g3. But yeah, it was a really interesting opening from Kleerkast with the pawn sack on g2. I was a bit scared of taking it. Thought I did pretty well to survive the opening and middle game. Yeah, so here knight g5 is normally good when there's no pawn for b2 distracting the bishop. What is this? Oh, there's some trick. Yeah, interesting play. Maybe I should sack on f7. Yeah, hard to know what to do here. He's probably going to take and then rook takes back and maybe run the king over this way. Does it work? Throw in a knight at e2 check to cover here. Yeah, what else is there? Bishop takes, pawn takes, queen takes d4. That's okay. I mean, I don't mind this so much. I know there's some sort of trick based on a check on e2. But oh yeah, pawn at f3 is a good move too. Alright, now I do have to be extremely careful. I could sack a knight, I could play bishop at h3. This is looking very, very scary. Yeah, sack a knight. But 2 knights in hand already. Let's serious problem. At least he doesn't have knight at g5. There is knight at h4. What's going on here? Do I protect the pawn, or he's going to sack a bishop and put a pawn on h3 or something? Alright, just got to stop talking. Maybe this, maybe knight here. I got to learn to talk in shorthand and not just rabbit on too much when I've got a minute left. Bishop at h3 could be useful for defense. He's going to do something tricky, that's for sure. Probably should just go on bishop to g5. Oh well. Get rid of that piece. Stick a knight here. The bishop is actually looking less dangerous than the knight. Take on c6 if queen d4. Oh, there's a trick. Uh-oh. I've got to be very careful here. Knight c6, queen f2, rook takes. Yeah, I don't like it. I'm going to throw in this sneaky check. I have no idea whether it's good or not. Maybe bishop e3. It looks good. Blitzbullet is extremely fast at the end, so I can't get too low on time. Just rook b1. Oh yeah, okay. Alright, let's try sack. That way. Okay. Probably just king h1 if he checks anywhere. Knight at f6 check I have. Bishop at c8 maybe. Let's start with bishop at c8 and then go knight at f6. Alright, this is a crazy move. What am I doing? I have no clue. Yeah, what am I doing? That's a stupid move. That's a ridiculous move. Yeah, okay. I must have had something after knight at f6 check. Was there something wrong with making a queen, or did he have some attack? Yeah, knight takes king d7. The knight was badly placed on c8. Yeah, like I said, I don't do very much thinking. It's just a matter of yeah, looking for unexpected tricky moves. I'm not gonna flag him at the end. He's too fast. But yeah, I really missed a good chance. I am only interested in checkmate. So bishop at g6 defends against the threats of queen takes f7. So knight at f6 check. King e7, there I am thinking about the last game again. Maybe bishop at h5. Let's see if we can find a mate blindfolded on the last game after king e7. Yeah, knight takes h7, obviously a mistake. The idea was to clear the square f6 for the queen, but somehow I didn't play. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Maybe knight takes here. So rook takes h7, b takes c8 equals knight check, king d7. The knight is hanging though, and the pawn and the rook just don't combine very well. Even the queen on g7, I just couldn't find a way to get it back into play with checks. So perhaps knight takes h7 is just wrong, because I don't have a follow-up check. But then what's a better way to clear the square f6 for the queen? It's a tough one. I'm really not sure if there's an easy answer. Try knight at b2, looks interesting. Yeah, but streams are only for one purpose, that is losing points and embarrassing yourself. There's no other reason to do a stream, really, especially this early in the morning. So, but that's okay. All in good spirit. Knight takes d2 check. I don't see any other purpose of the knight there. It's hanging twice. Might as well clear something out of the way and get some more stuff. Knight h4, pawn at g2 is the main idea. You don't want the knight sitting here. So what's a better idea than knight takes h7? Was he threatening anything after bishop at g6? His queen was on something like c5, wasn't it? So it wasn't in a threatening position. He didn't have any heavies. So I didn't really see what he could do to attack. I probably should just take on c8 immediately after bishop at g6. What's a funny move here we can try? What about a move like pawn at c2? I like throwing in these funny kinds of moves. Don't really know what it threatens, but we'll see. We'll make it work somehow. Bishop at b7. Yep. I'm just going to castle, let him take on whatever he wants. I don't care. Vijayan, 1900. So what's the expression? The threat is stronger than the execution. So now the idea is to put a pawn on d2. So now I do have some sort of a threat with knight f4. And if take, there is knight takes e3 check, picking up the queen. What else? d1 equals queen, bishop takes. Knight f4 check, king g1. But then takes clears. Oh, what's this? He's volunteering to come to b1. Okay, I wanted him to come to b1 anyway, so I can check him like this and pick up a rook. Could have done it this way. I didn't want his king coming out, because I have this check if he runs that way. Oh, well, funny game. Yeah, probably just b takes c8 equals queen instead of knight takes h7. Too fancy, because I'm allowing him serious counterattack on the h file. He might have some mating threats in that case. So, Chris, good luck. Is that what it stands for? Chris GL? Chris, good luck. Have not played this opponent. Usually bishop c4 if they're going to open up this diagonal for me. And sack or... wow, that was fast. Pawn at h6? I don't know about this. There might be a counter sack and knight at g4 check. We will see. Knight at g4, just king back to f1 looks logical. There's no knight on e3. Yeah, this one is okay. I mean, the trade is fairly insignificant. Knight on d6 is an idea. Keep the queen hitting g4 and covering the king. Just got to watch out for knight at e3. I should be okay otherwise. Pawn to g6, unexpected. So now we should dump the knight in here, and then bishop at c5. Nothing wrong with knight g5 either. Gonna try and throw in some opera moves on the stream. So there's funny unexpected pawns appearing in random places, or unexpected rook lifts or rook sacrifices, or queen sacrifices. Deep tactics as well. Op is very good at finding 3, 4, 5 move combinations in a finger snap. Knight b7, knight f5, is it mate? It's got to be good. I can't actually see mate. This one, queen b3. Yeah, Op is amazing at finding deep tactics very quickly. Queen b3, blocker, take. I don't know, I should just pick up the rook for one of these squares. I don't want to sack the queen because it gives him a square on f6. What's this? It's got to be mate here. See if we can pull off a mate. Why don't I see it? I'm looking for like force mate in 2. I honestly don't see it. It's unbelievable, huh? Unbelievable. Why is it not there? Come on. Could take on g4. Something. Queen g7 first. Queen f8 even? Rook takes f6. I'll do this one just to pick up a pawn. Pawn might be mate. Yeah, I'm sure it works. Oh, maybe this one. Lucas was talking about in the chat. Yeah, I just wanted to pick up a pawn or bishop with check like this. But I'm sure there were lots of mates. Is there mate in 1? Always good to ask yourself, is there mate in 1? But again, I don't see it, so let's do a mate in 3. Okay, if I mouse slip, there's always the bishop on c5 covering me, right? Oh, I've slipped a bit. Yeah, I lost a few games really badly with like 5 seconds left or less. So I've lost like 5 games today. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lost 6 games. Oh, this one again. Let's try. Or is he going to go e4 this time? I was quite happy with the opening we got. Many options though for both players. Probably a lot more options for white though. I'm just struggling to find key moves to defend and hold on. This one, I don't have to take on e4 this time, so this is a different line where I'm inviting him to push or take. He gets the choice. So probably, well, e7 is okay, but probably h6 is a lot more active. Just keeping an eye on d2, he has to watch out. Again, idea is to put the bishop on a5 or a3 as needed. I think castling is probably okay. What did he do last time? He was trying to hunt down the pawn on c7. So I should keep a bishop for a5. Just normal moves like knight c6 must be good. Yeah, so getting rid of that dark square bishop means that the queen is quite secure on h6. Yeah, and he's probably calculating stuff like bishop at d2. Is it a mating threat? That's why he's covering here. Bishop at h5, I'm not sure I want to commit to this move just yet. Probably just a normal developing move first. So bishop b5. Alright, I am going to castle and take back which way. I assume he wants to take on c6, but no, not yet. So now's a good time for bishop at g4. Ah, bishop back, okay. Fine, fine, fine. Should I take on c3? Or maybe d6. And he's going to go this funny knight b5 again, isn't he? I don't know. My position is okay. It's not special, just okay. Maybe bishop takes, or it does help to cover the king a bit more. Although I kind of like this move because it stops knight e5. Thanks for the follows, guys. Sorry I'm not paying too much attention. I've got some very tough opponents. Alright, time to go a bit wild. I've got a minute 30 left. Pawn at e4 is the idea. Not sure. Or perhaps knight at f4 and get rid of that bishop and trade the house, trade everything. 12:30 in India, says Abhijit. Well, thanks for following, guys. It's always good to do a stream after a long time and see if I can remember how to play. Take on e2. I don't know. Pawn at f4 is looking quite decent. Alright, time. I'm getting flagged. All these games I'm losing. It's partly because I'm getting... it's a good move. Bishop takes f3 first. Oh, is there a threat? Uh-oh. Ooh, scary, scary. I don't have a threat, that's the problem. Yeah, I'm going to queen h5. The idea is just to crash everything through on f3. Yeah, I'm losing a pawn. I'm not sure about this. Again, a bit unexpected. Take. Sack the queen somehow. Yeah, it's not enough attack, but I have to do it because I'm just going to get flagged otherwise. Yeah, try not to get mated. Yeah, I think I lost this one. Pawn at f3 is the idea. Check. Probably it should take here and then... not going to fall for the same nonsense, eh? Yeah, I mean, I got to go for it, even if it loses. Yeah, it's a good move, good move. Yeah, I think he's got me. I didn't see that one. Yep. Yeah, nice. So the move I missed, there was some opening the f-file, wasn't there? Takes on e4. Yeah, that was a nice tactic to save himself. But yeah, queen sack was a bit dubious on g2. Very dubious. But already he had too many pieces in here. I couldn't withdraw the queen. It would just be too much of a waste of time. I don't know who this GM. Does anybody know? Tell me, please, if you know who it is. So I've got about 1 hour left, and I have to finish. Go to work, play maybe 3 more games on the iPhone. Might as well rook g1. He's going to be so kind to open the G file. So I always like to know where was my main mistake in that game. It's not that obvious to me. There was some trick he did with pawn at G5 to pick up the pawn on F4. Even then, it's very unclear after that. Probably bishop G5 here. So I'm not really worried about anything landing on G2 at the moment. Yeah, I don't know. What's the move? Pawn at H6. Rook G8. No, he doesn't want to play Rook G8. In that case, probably knight at F5. And take back with the bishop. So just avoiding most of the trades, because I don't want to let his bishop come to F6 for free. Now bishop C4. These pawns are not doing very much to attack. Queen Anne's Revenge. Is it a French GM, perhaps? Oh no, the flag was Russian. Bishop takes E6, knight at G7, king D7. I don't need to allow this. So let's see, E5. E5 looks interesting. So then one idea to take here, and then knight at G7 looks more dangerous. So he swaps queens, it's nothing much. What? He wants queen at F1, take, take, take. Rook at G1, king E2, then what? I think it's okay to take back with the rook. Even king D2, king C1 is okay here. In fact, nah, I'll take king E2. Even if I have to play something like king takes D1 in the end, it's totally fine. Alright, oh, I should put a disclaimer, since I can lose to anybody and lose any winning position. It should be fine. Should be fine. So knight at G7 is not checkmate, so therefore I'm thinking even... Oh, I should sack here first, not let him just go bishop takes for free. And then maybe knight takes D1. Yeah, it looks like the safest move. Knight takes D1, no checks. Got this bishop coming out here. He doesn't have a lot of material in hand, but yeah, be careful, be careful. So, time. Perhaps just a move like pawn at E4 looks a bit silly. King D3. I'll try and take on G8 if I can. I'll take here. Ah, yes, good move. Might be lost. I might be lost. Wow. So you can sort of survive a few more moves. Yeah, and this helps to cover, of course. Just got to go for it, because otherwise I'm just dead. Bishop takes. Maybe he's. No! Don't do that. All right. I could have taken with the king, maybe surviving. But yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. Oh, what? Let's see. Doesn't want to mate me. Nice checkmate. Yeah, it's too little time to think how to stop the mates. Yeah, but bishop takes e4 check was just winning on the spot. So yeah, I don't know. It seemed maybe a lot more dangerous than I thought. Rook at f1, I really didn't think should have been anything. I had many other options. Take back with the king on d1 earlier, take back with the knight on d1 earlier. Maybe e4 was just e5 opening the d file. It looked like a good idea at the time. I don't know. Pawn at e3 is the move, so this is a critical move order. I've only had this position once in the last 3 years. Very old Dutch line where you sack the house and promote a knight on g1. A lot of fun. I mean, I play most openings not because they're good, just because they're exciting. Knight takes c3 check. King can go either way. I probably should throw in this one because I want to take with check on d1, which he has allowed for some strange reason. Knight at e4 check. King d3 and queen at c2. So knight at d5 a bit safer because it helps to cover the square e7 if you don't see a direct mate with moves like this, and king d3 and pawn at c4 could have been mating. I just couldn't quite work it out after king c2, king b1. I'm running out of pawns. I don't think it quite worked. Alright, so now I just drop the pawn, or actually, no, this is a lot better, isn't it? It should be forced mate with pawn at c2. Alright, let's try and pick up the pace. Zhao CM, sorry, I'm not much of a berserker, as you can easily tell if you watch me stumble over my words while trying to think at the same time. He's probably going to go bishop g5 and I'll no. Play bishop e7 back. Alright, a very old line with early capture and trade on f6, knight d5, knight h4 I have never seen for good reason, because it appears to be a free knight. Some more free stuff, which I will gladly accept. Alright, so bishop at g3. What do we do against this? No, I don't want to put a knight there. Could sack everything on f2. But nah, I don't know. Knight at d4. Didn't want to put a knight here because of queen takes knight f6 check. So in this case I can pick up the bishop if I want to. Not that it's really anything all that special. White resigned. Okay, yeah, as I said, not a berserker, so I actually do prefer to give myself the opportunity to make some good moves, because that's not going to happen if I play 1-0 or whatever, anything approaching 1-0. Yeah, someone's saying in the chat, Katas closed his account. I don't know the story, but Jasugi says he's coming back for the Crazyhouse World Championship, so we should give John Lee a plug for again offering to kindly sponsor the Crazyhouse World Championship. If you just type the word Crazyhouse in the forum on Lichess community forum, then you should easily be able to find all the information on the Crazyhouse World Championship. there will be more information to follow. So I called this the Bugzilla line on the final stream with John, Kleerkast and Yasser, because I think Bugzilla was the first player to play, or at least popularize this. You could call it a refutation to bishop e7. Although I still think there are lines which offer practical chances with bishop e7. So here I just take, and actually, should I have gone knight e5 check first? I'm just playing automatic moves. But the piece sack is definitely worth it because king just never has time to find any permanent safety. Maybe knight at f5 now, or knight at h5 and pawn drops. Always got to look for moves like queen g4 check picking up a knight, queen d4 check picking up a knight. So let's go with queen d4 check. If knight at f6, then just gives me more chances to do stuff like pawn at g5. It might not even really be that good anymore after pawn at g5. Yeah, I don't know. I could have even lost the advantage because I didn't play knight at e5 check earlier. It's that close. I mean, when you're playing a very sharp line in Crazy House, it's often just one move and you get back to equal or even slightly worse. So take twice. Knight at h5 check, king moves. I know I really shouldn't be paying too much attention to my opponent's rating, but sometimes it does make a difference what the rating is as to what your course of action may be. Especially I am extremely rusty, both playing and streaming. I've pretty much only been playing on the iPhone the last month, 2 months. Do I have enough pawns to mate with? I don't know. Looks good anyway. Knight at e5. Try and force the king out this way and make a mate. But yeah, maybe not enough pawns to mate. Could have grabbed a pawn somewhere with check, I guess. Queen takes d7 check you can sometimes do and get away with. Doesn't say Mugwort is streaming. What did I do wrong? Alright, Ronaldo. 3-0 against Ronaldo. Early trade. Let's try e5 this time. Okay. I think this trade is favorable because now I have the open bishop here for bishop b4. Or pawn at somewhere, pawn at e4, pawn at g4. Never quite sure what to do. Pawn at e4. It does block a queen e4 check, which could have been useful later. But now the typical move is bishop b4. So trade here and then pick up the knight. So I had a similar position earlier today where I just went queen f5. Queen a5 is also possible. I'm going to go queen h5. So probably queen e2 here is the best response, just to pin and attack the e-pawn. Knight e5. Alright, trade queens. Should I be taking on c3 first? I don't know. Knight takes d4. Knight takes d4. Well, everything is covered. Could possibly knight takes e5 and yeah, so the idea was to throw in knight at c6, just defend the bishop. If take here, everything is covered. Can't take the pawn back because of queen at e1 mate. So when streaming especially, I do really struggle against the stronger players. Yeah, Legion, Kleerkast. BughouseKnight, at the moment, let me just find a good move first. My style seems to be working against BughouseKnight. I don't know what it is, but that could change at any second when he learns more than 20 moves of theory in total. But no, it's not really true that all the positions we're getting are theoretical. I have some experience playing typical Dutch themes. Might as well throw in a check. Checks from all angles. Knight at c5 perhaps, even e3, knight at e4 to clear the square here. For a knight. I just noticed there's no easy way to block. Alright, I'm going to go e3, now that we have the opportunity. And Eddie Benaboo's a knight at e4. Nah, I think let's just go for the mate on the back row with pawn at d2. What is this? He's coming forwards. Alright, this gives me a chance to have some fun and do something completely speculative. I just got a feeling like it must work, even though I've calculated absolutely nothing. And I know I should be safe in the end, even if it doesn't work out as expected. And yeah, right now I can't really see it working out too well. So what was I hoping for? I play another funny move. This is an upper move, bishop at d3 check. There we go, unexpected. It's not like I'm even mating or anything. It's just for fun. Yep. What am I doing? Maybe castle? Oh no, queen's hanging. I probably should notice stuff like this. Yeah, so there's no mate. Alright, there's no mate. I get it. Let's see if we can survive. We had our fun, and we'll see if we can survive. Yeah, I probably just lost here. Yeah, well, I tried to do an upper move and it backfired. That's why you say Oppa has an inimitable style. Cannot be emulated. Ooh, scary, scary. What? Can really get away with doing stuff like this, eh? Yeah, I suppose you can. Queen it? Maybe. Is queen at a8 mating me? What's this? Hey, I should put a thingo there. Take that. Put another thingo on e2. We're getting closer to mate, aren't we? I might stumble into mate eventually. If I play enough random checks. There we go. Alright, I should have lost that one. But it is all just for fun. Sacking all the pieces when you can do pretty much anything instead. Yeah, rook takes d4. Didn't quite work. Should have just gone queen at d2 and put some bishops on for defense and castled maybe. Now, how do you say his name? Is it TJ Akvos or T Yakvos? I'm not sure. Okay, we have a poker defense. Let's go for an early knight sack. E6 castles. We'll do the penguin line if he allows it. No, he doesn't allow it. All right. Now here, What do we normally do? Take or come back? Probably take. I have no idea why. But we'll work it out as we go, eh? Pawn at g5. Bishop takes. Maybe e5 to follow. I don't know, I'm not getting much compensation here for the piece. There used to be some line I know I used to play against GSVC where I'd do something very similar. And there'd be some super tricky move which I really shouldn't talk about because I, one, don't remember it, and two, this is a completely different position. I think he might have already had his bishop out on g4. Alright, so the main aim here is to clear the square e4. I don't think sacking is going to work. There is a knight at h3, but it's not looking that deadly at the moment. Should I play knight e4? I don't think there's any mates. I could have easily missed a mate though. Knight at h3, king here, queen takes, bishop at queen takes. There is, well, knight at f3 I don't think is any good. I'll just sack the queen. Alright, so what do we have here? Any threats? Any real dangers? Pawn at f6, perhaps? Or should I just play a move like knight at... Knight at f6. Knight at f6, take. Maybe. Yeah, you know, it's not something I would normally do, but okay, it's not. I see. Now, am I going to trap the queen with pawn at? It does awfully look like the queen is getting trapped. I'm just expecting him to take here lots of times and they're trying to attack me, but I guess there was nothing. But yeah, really not playing very well today against the stronger players. And yeah, if you ever wonder why I don't stream Crazy House World Championship matches, this is a very good reason why I don't. Bishop at f8. Yeah, I feel like doing something to attack. Queen g4. Now there's no bishop for f5, so of course two obvious targets. No easy way to defend. It doesn't even have knight at f8 to defend both. Has this one, but then let's just crash through here. King is very safe. A little bit weak on the light squares, but not too serious. All right, so it's a good defensive move. Maybe take here and then bishop at e6 looks like the safest move just to cover any potential drops. Obviously he can't move the rook. He's attacking the knight as well at the same time. Looks good. If it looks good in Crazy House, it usually is good. That's why the strongest players are extremely proficient at 1-0. Just drop a pawn and take here, otherwise knight drops looks pretty much fatal. There, take knight at g5, or is there a forced mate with rook at h7? He shouldn't have taken it, but I guess it doesn't really matter at this moment. What's this other tab? BughouseKnight again. Alright. I was very happy with the opening I got in the Dutch last time against him. I don't think anyone's absolutely crushed my Dutch today. I mean, obviously I've lost some games playing the Dutch, but I don't think anyone's absolutely blown me off the chessboard straight out of the opening. I'm talking 10 or 12 moves, of course. Knight e4 is usually what I do here. Now there's no bishop d2. He might want to play a3 or castle queenside even. Alright, is it a queen trap? There's no queen trap, but it looks very exciting. Knight at b2. Looking at queen b5. A? Oh, he wants to play bishop at g5. Yeah, good idea. Oh, I run into problems with moves like this before in the past. King f8. No, there's still problems. Yeah, okay. This is a moment I am in serious trouble because of bishop g5 coming. And then I am stuck. Let's have a think. King f8, bishop g5. Can block knight e7 if I'm desperate, but knight f7 is painful in that case. Oh dear. Yeah, nice move. Bishop at h5. Nice move. Yeah, I am really stuck for an idea. g6. I know it's bad, but has to be done. Knight g5 is very surprising. I get the idea. Does let me castle, maybe? Even queen f6 is possible. I thought, knight takes e4, you idiot. Yeah, I probably should have castled. Just let him hack me to death. Yeah. Yeah, this was really not a good idea. d5. Yeah, knight at b2 was, before castles, was just too crazy. King f7. At least try not to get flagged. I have pawn f4. I don't know what is he doing. What is he? Why is he letting me back into the game? Yeah, gotta defend. Huh. Oh drat. Yeah, completely dead. I'm deader than dead. Knight h4. Don't do it to me. Alright. I'm so dead, it's not funny. Can't even move the queen out of the way now. Yeah, it is finally resignable. Alright, he's got me for the first time. Well done. Knight at b2, terrible mistake. Before castles. Yeah, I often miss these checks on h5. Missed it once. Queen h5 check with the elite match a couple of weeks ago against ICS Vortex. Should have killed me with it, but I somehow managed to survive. Alright, so probably going to see something familiar with bishop at e6. A very safe line, going for quick development, sacking a piece. Alright, so bishop at a4 is what I did in a previous game. Bishop d6 was his response. And then if I play too passively, I just get a bad position, so we'll see if he varies first before I talk too much about bishop d6. Sacking a pawn, knight takes d5, castles is how the game went, and then I had to think about whether to trade the bishop because the knight is coming to d4 with tempo. Alright, here we go. It's going to be absolute mayhem after pawn at f6. And just delaying this capture one move to try and make him take with the pawn first. Really not sure whether I should be including the check with the knight if she takes f6. Yeah, so if black is careful, he can keep himself safe, but it's not that easy to work out. If he doesn't take, he's going to have long-term problems, of course, after f takes g7. Alright, well, I mean, I only have one move now, don't I? I've got to take on g7. He's playing the suicidal line, as long as I find the right moves, but yeah, obviously he's going for counter-attack and keeping the position double-edged. So, in some cases I could leave my queen here, because after knight takes, my king uncastled is actually reasonably safe. So, I think knight check here is a move, then take here, and then get prepared to take back with the knight on e2, because he can't take both pieces at once. Of course he would like to, and stop knight at f5 check at the same time is a bit too much. Hey Chuck, welcome. In the last half hour of the stream, I've got to go to work. It's about 6 AM. So, but yeah, he can't do everything all at the same time. He'd like to pick off the knight and pick off the bishop and move his king back and play pawn at g7. He's got to choose. It's not that easy. So the main point is knight takes e2 keeps my king very safe. It takes 2 knights to crack in. He's only got 1. Alright, so his aim, I guess, is to have 2 knights for d3 and c2, even though I feel like even that may not be enough. I could play d4, perhaps. Knight at f5 check instead. Let's try to be precise and work it out. So knight h5, king h6. I could include the move d4 check. Oh, but then knight is actually hanging on h5. If takes, knight at d3 check, takes, king d1, knight e3 only check. D takes is usually very safe, so let's not think any further and just go straight into it. And yeah, a d4 was probably okay too, just for extra safety, even though I don't get to pick up the queen. I got moves like knight g3 takes, h takes g3 to follow. So just without thinking, I'm going to go for the line. And he doesn't have enough pieces here. So king d2 was my original idea. Put the pawn on c3 if he checks. And it should be game over. Although I lost a game to that GM, didn't I, when I let him attack me on the back rank. Yeah, I think there's a few games I really should not have lost today. A very promising attack with knight on g7, knight at g7 in that game. Another GM, let's go for a more mainline e4, e5. I haven't done this even once today, and that was my main opening in the CWC 2020. What do I do here? I've already forgotten. Let's just trade and stick the knight back. It's fairly reliable. Knight f6, knight c3. Now this one, I think pawn at d4, maybe takes, and then knight at b4 from memory, and then block with the queen seems okay. He could try what PKR did with the knight checks, but again, it usually doesn't work very well because you just run out of pieces if you start dropping all your knights. So I mean, I'm half expecting knight takes d6 anyway, because he's got to defend against knight takes c2 check, and often the best form of defense is attack. Interesting idea to play d3. But now with 3 knights, I'm not sure I should be wasting time with d3. So does taking back here first keep me safe? Let's see. Knight at d6 takes, knight at c7. Maybe king d8. And then do I have a threat? Not really. So check, check. I still don't see what he's aiming for, so I think there's no need for me to trade and let him open the back rank, so I'm just going to take the rook and hope for the best. If I get mated, I get mated. Like, what can I do? Say too good. I don't see it, but there could easily be a mate that I don't see. I miss lots of mates in just about every game. Even against the 1800s, I was going for mate, and I should have lost the previous game. All right. So rook at e1, no, it doesn't work because the king takes. So d3 is one obvious move here. Obviously taking back is also good. Let's have a look at d3. Yeah, this has got to be the move because you can't take here because the rook at d1. I mean, it's a legal move, but all right, going for safety. So normally this sort of position, I like to throw in a check and trade queens because then g2 is a bit weaker. Queen at f3, there's also the option of d takes c4. Not entirely sure which is the most accurate. So of course he doesn't have a bishop for f3, which is his best way to block. And I don't think I have to be too concerned with. I also play rook e1. Yeah, then I have to be careful. Pawn at e6 maybe. Queen takes f3 looks very strong because he has to block with something and interrupt the e-file attack. Okay, so this case, queen d5 saves the tempo. I think there's nothing wrong with queen takes f2. Let's try and work it out. I might even drop a rook on d5, so to cover any knight checks. So I always have the option of queen takes f2 in case I want to. Always got to look for mate in case it's there. Close, close. But not quite that I see, so yeah, just going to take on f2. I think my king is still very safe. So one idea, pawn at d3, bishop takes. Yeah, I gotta be careful again of the e-file in that case. Pawn at e3, knight takes c2. Other ideas? Yeah, rook takes d2, not so good. Perhaps just a safe move like queen f4. Rather than calculate any messy stuff that I don't need to. What's this? Why can't I take here? Looks fine to me. Yeah, king d8. Only danger is on time, but yeah, lots of mate threats now. Queen takes c2 also. How's he going to cover everything all at once? I mean, I don't flag that easily when I got 3 mate in 3 threads. But normally, yeah, I'm easily flaggable when I got under 30 seconds. Hammer T, let's try and play it. How do we try and play a Dutch? Yeah, f5 is not a very good move because of a gambit with the e4, but not everybody knows this. You end up with a very passive position if white really knows what he's doing. Keep an eye on the time. I got about 20 minutes left. Got to go. I think castling is probably okay. Actually, I might have even been able to steal a pawn there, get away with it. But too late for that. So knight c6. Still wondering whether to go d6. Probably d6 now that he's committed to knight e5. And again, I still have this funny idea to play knight at b2 because take this way. Yeah, because I want to harass the queen, and it's a lot better after you have castled. So I learned that in the previous game. Taking is possible, but let's not be too dramatic. I kind of like the look of bishop here, thinking even about rook takes f6. But he's playing for safety. And let's also play for safety with knight at e4. So f3, alright, that is not what I would call an extremely safe move. Let's see. Knight takes h5 comes to mind. Let's work it out. Bishop takes d8. Knight at f2. Knight at e7. King f7 is playable. I'm going to watch out for all kinds of knight sacks in that case. I'm going to do it just for fun. I have no idea if it's good or not. But let's... Yeah, this... I've already lost like 40 points today, so stream is just for fun. Yeah, even king h8 I think is okay, but hang on, there's this capture here. So king f7 instead. I always got e8 in case I want to avoid all the checks. So pawn takes, knight takes is the basic plan, and king e8 if needed. I think the king is actually extremely safe on f7 at the moment. Queen e2, alright. So take on c3, no, don't like it. Just grab the rook. Yeah, just grab the rook. Maybe the bishop, not sure yet. Ah, this one. Alright, let's see, what's his threat? Queen at e7 check, king back. Yeah, I gotta be careful. Queen e7, king back, queen takes, rook. Super dangerous. Let's defend with the rook. Yeah, it probably wasn't a very good idea then if I have to defend. Yeah, good move, knight takes c6. Very good move. Yeah, he's just got too many pieces now. I probably already mated by force. Incredible. No, I'm surviving for now. But here's where he should just be patient. Yeah, I gotta cover squares like f6. That's too hard. And I don't have any threat. It's another. Alright, knight takes is possible. Yeah. Maximum pain. Maximum pain. Yeah, well done. MRT. Nice game. Very silly queen sack. Thought the king would be safe on f7. And perhaps knight at f2 was a mistake. I mean, okay, it's probably a bit of a dodgy position anyway if I'm relying on surviving. But knight takes c6 completely missed all the threats with sacking the queen on f8. But of course, completely unnecessary to sack the queen. Always choose the most dangerous option. Now this is something I played against. Was that a slip? Not sure. King f8. Interesting move if it's not a slip. Might even be a good move. Let's see. One pawn in hand. What do we have? d4 bishop takes. All right, let's just take this and think later. d4. No, hang on. I would rather take this because this is familiar. It's actually the exact same position I've had a few times, but after castles with the rook on f8 instead. So the point is here, there's no pins along the e-file, there's no direct attack on the king, there's moves like queen g2, but it's very slow with the bishop drops coming in. Even that doesn't come with a mating threat, I think. Knight at g8. So bishop sneaks in the back. d4 check coming, maybe, or bishop e4. Let's check out the standing. Have I even made the top 10? Don't know. 17. Oh, that's a disaster. Everybody's berserking, I guess. Yeah, just taken again. I think later queen g7 must be good. Bishop f3, take a knight. I don't know. Bishop f7. Bishop f3 for extra safety, since I seem to be getting mated if I don't focus on safety every single game. Queen at e3. I'm gonna go knight e2, because if g takes, then I have made him one. Otherwise, knight at f4 anyway, we can mate with a pawn. So last 15 minutes or so of the stream. Got time for perhaps 2-3 more games. We'll see if we get another tough guy. So MRT plays very well when he has the initiative. I mean, normally 2 pieces for a queen is okay. I forgot if I even got time to take back the second piece. So I don't tend to count very well, because counting to 3 is sometimes a challenge for me. d5, can I do this? In chess there'll be a move like queen h5. I don't think it's any good because of bishop here. But yeah, how did it go in that queen sack game? So it went knight, was it knight takes e4, bishop takes d8, and then was it knight takes h5? Can't even remember now. And there was a knight at e7 check, so I ended up taking back the oh no, playing king f7 and then thinking I was safe, and he went knight takes c6. A very nasty move. Right, what do we do here? Just protect the pawn, or any way to pile up on the knight on c3? Attack this guy? Oh, here's a check, okay. Yep, good point. Here's a check. But pawn drops. Yeah, I don't want to lose the bishop, so... what do you do here? Oh, you defend the bishop with knight c6. Oh, queen e7 was also good. Queen e7. Alright, so take here. He's going to save all these pieces. Wow. Didn't think that was necessary. Oh, he does have pawn at e6. Oops. Pawn at g2. Can throw in a fancy move, but again, it's probably not very useful if he just blocks with the bishop somewhere. Waste of a bishop on b1. I could make that claim. Now good time for a check since there's no easy blockers. Pawn at e3, what's the drawback? We just pile up on e2 and g2, make him think about the pawn drops. So now, probably this one, because I get a free discovered attack on the queen. There's also Gonna be weakness on b1 in the end, and c2. So very hard to know what he should do, giving up the rook, but keeping the knights and bishops, covering the light squares. So he's defending quite well. And only a rook in hand, there's not a lot I can do immediately. I need pawns for g2. It could even be worth sacking a bishop for a pawn here, just for fun. Let's do that. Oh, queen takes f3. But now there's knight c2, although what does it do? Not that much. Sack another piece. When in doubt, sack another piece. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. I need a bishop here, so let's just sack another piece. Bishop at e1, maybe bishop takes c3, weakens the knight. Should be some sort of forks in the end. It'll work out. Maybe there's a bishop check. It's a better move. Bishop at... But still, I don't know. Alright, so let's try getting rid of this knight, and then the bishop is hanging. So when I say I don't think very much on the stream, this game's a good example because I'm just playing whatever comes to my head, like without even looking one move ahead. So I could easily miss a mate in one or a painful response, like in the previous game against MRT. Alright, got time for one or two more. So I gotta catch up, what, 6 points to make the top 10. I don't think it's gonna happen today. And yeah, as I said before, can play a couple of games on the iPhone later, but that's about it. I'm gonna go to work. Alright, so this one. This is the OK line. I think OK was the first player to play this bishop at c1 in case Dermati wants to play it. I think this line could be even a bit of an improvement on the line I played against Legion earlier. Hey Zaraza, streaming also, or finished. Queen e7, check. I think bishop here makes the most sense just because it points in the right direction of the weak squares. This one, never quite sure whether to sack the rook or not. Don't know. Let's not sack. Let's sack the queen instead of the rook. How about that? Sack the queen instead of the rook. Got the bishops for coverage. It looks okay because there's a threat of knight at f6 check. Sing and continue to stream. Good to hear. I was gonna say scream, but I hope your singing is better than that. I wouldn't want to call it a scream. No, I haven't heard you singing, Zaraza, so I just mucking around. Scream and shout. Or always been a fan of Metallica, especially the old stuff, and they used to say, James used to say, shouting in key. That's how his style used to be, shouting in key. So let's see how this goes. All kinds of threats with the queen. May as well drop the bishop, no reason, still threats. Maybe pawn at e7, but then I can come in the back door, queen at one of these two squares. Yeah, unfortunately, love to play another 2 hours, but I do have to run off, so any more games will be on the phone. Not zerking while driving, I do not recommend, I disavow. Do not zerk while driving. Do not touch your phone while driving. Very dangerous, do not do this. I disavow completely. No, so when I finish driving, I'll have time for maybe a couple more games on the phone while drinking a coffee, holding an umbrella, you know, that sort of thing. D4, F5. Now last time, yeah, it was a slight variation. Again, I'm not going to blame I know everyone wants to blame the Dutch just because it's easy to pick on. It's an easy target, but I'm not going to blame the Dutch. I thought the opening was completely fine. So let's do it again. Oh, what's this? Why have I got two tabs open? If I cancel one, what's going to happen? I hope it doesn't forfeit my game. No, it's okay. Bishop d3, b6. Alright, bishop b6, bishop b7, another positional struggle. I think I'm the one that does the struggling in these positions though. Knight h4, that's a funny move. What's the purpose? Does he want to sack here? What's the plan? What's he doing? Take. He wants to play f3 maybe? Yeah, I mean bishop b7, I might as well do it. A safer move would have been, not that, something else. Too late to think. Bishop e7, safer move, but let's go crazy as usual. And sack some stuff. This wasn't very smart because I thought I had some knight at f3 in the end, but I don't. He's giving the piece back. It's quite good too. Yeah, no really great ideas. Maybe bishop at b2, maybe bishop at b7. I don't know. All right, there's my alarm. That is, what's this? Knight at c6. Knight c6, I mean. The alarm's going to go in 30 seconds as well. That's an indication I have to wind it up. So this might be the last game, unless I can really push the alarm. Sorry, I've got to take this and then think. There's got to be something clever I can do right now. What is it? Yeah, I don't think he wants to take this because of d3 weakness. There's got to be something clever I can do right now. Maybe sack here and pawn at e4. There we go. The alarm again. That means there's no more alarms, no more falling asleep at the wheel or at the board or at the computer. Got to go within 5 minutes. All right, takes. What is this? Is he for real? Can he really get away with this? Let's see. King f1. What's happening on king f1? You know, I should use the time to actually look for a mate instead of mucking around like I always do. So queen e1, king g2, knight f4, take, king g3. Yeah, it looks good enough. I mean, what could possibly go wrong, huh? Famous last words. What could possibly go wrong here? I don't know, did I have any better options? Pawn at f3 check. Was he running away? Alright, so now, what's the right move order? I don't really see the right move order. Should I? There, check there. I don't know. We'll work something out. It's getting a bit late to think about it. So 2 pawns. Yeah, that's it. Pawn h3, bishop g4, and pawn h3. That's it. So I had mate all along. Alright, pause. Thanks for watching, everybody. I do have to run. I'll play a couple more games on the iPhone, but that's it. It's been a lot of fun. Playing mainly for entertainment, but not very well against the stronger players today. So take care, everybody. Have a good tournament, and see you in the next stream.